this. Okay. Okay, so welcome to the 9th lecture of my classical Greek introductory course. So today we are going to look at the paradigms for the inflection of nouns in the third declension with roots ending in dental consonants. That is tau, delta, and theta. And you find the paradigm for this on page 49, section 440 in the Cambridge Grammar. Further, we're going to look at those. Okay, let me see if I can even. Okay. Now it seems to be moving here. Yeah. Anyway, so further we are going to look at those third declension nouns which have a stem ending in ni and tau. And these you find on page 50, section 445 in the grammar. We are also going to look at adjectives with this kind of ni tau stem, with the example pas, pasa, pan, which you find on page 69, section 515 in the grammar. And finally, we are also going to overview the inflection of the present active participle, the present medial passive participle, as well as the respective future forms of these. But let's begin with the third declension, dentals. In this connection, we will look at the examples eros, which means love, and the neuter noun pneuma, which means breath. Dental nouns following the third declension, often like in our example eros, end in a sigma in the nominative singular, or in a xi, except if they are neuter, like pneuma. Moreover, as is generally the case with nouns inflected in the third declension, the safest way of determining the stem of the noun in question is by looking at the genitive singular form. And this is why both the nominative singular as well as the genitive forms of nouns following the third declension are often given in vocabularies and dictionaries. Otherwise, the third declension nouns with stems ending in a dental consonant have the same ending as the velar and labial nouns we looked at last time, as can be seen in what follows. So love in the singular is eros in the nominative, erotos in the genitive, eroti in the dative, erota in the accusative, and eros in the vocative. And in the plural, we have erotes in the nominative, eroton in the genitive, erosin with the ny-effelkystikon in the dative, erotas in the accusative, and erotes in the vocative. The loss of the tau in the dative plural form is explained by the contraction of the concluding consonant of the stem, that is tau, and the sigma in the dative plural ending sin. If you remember from the last lecture, the tau is usually obliterated when it meets a sigma. There are also many feminine nouns in the third declension with stems ending in dentals, and you can find a selection of them here. So we have, for instance, here nyx, which means night, and has the genitive singular form nyktos. And then we have elpis, which means hope, and which is elpidos in the genitive singular. And haris, which means grace, and here the genitive singular form is haritos. And in this case, the accusative singular is actually harin and not harita, which could maybe would be expected. But this kind of accusative singular ending is a general rule for nouns in the third declension with which ends in is, when the accent is not on the final syllable in the nominative singular. So hence the accusative singular of ornis, which means bird, is also ornin and not ornita. What can be added too is that nouns ending in is are often, but not always, feminine. Okay, let's turn to neuter nouns in this category then. As usual, these are inflected differently than the masculine and feminine words in certain numbers and cases. So, for instance, the nominative, accusative, and vocative forms are always identical, which I mentioned. Which I have mentioned is a universal rule in the European languages. Okay, but let's look at the full paradigm again with the neuter noun. So here we have the example breath with the stem pneumat, which we can derive this stem, that is, from the genitive singular form as usual. So here we have in the singular pneuma, the nominative, pneumatos in the genitive, pneumati in the dative, pneuma in the accusative, and pneuma in the vocative. And in the plural, we have pneumata in the nominative, pneumaton in the genitive, pneumasin in the dative, pneumata in the accusative, and pneumata in the vocative. And if you like, you can also compare the inflection of pneuma with the word pragma, which means thing or matter, and which you find in section 449 in the Cambridge Grammar. Okay, next topic is third declension nouns with stems ending in ny and tau. So first of all, these are always masculine, and a few other things worth noting about nouns of this type can be observed when considering the examples Andreas, which means statue, and Leon, which means lion. So again, we are best able to detect the stem of the noun by looking at the genitive singular forms, Andriantos and Leontos. Further, we may note that the vocative singulars are here sometimes identical with the nominative singular, like in Andreas. Whereas sometimes the final vowel of the nominative singular may be shortened in the vocative, like in Leon. As in this case, the shortening of the vowel in the vocative singular takes place when the accent is not on the final syllable. But let's overview the full paradigm for the inflection of Andreas. And then if you want to compare, you find further examples in section 445 of the Cambridge Grammar. Okay. So here we have in the singular Andreas in the nominative, Andriantos in genitive, Andrianti in the dative, Andrianta in the accusative, and Andreas in the vocative. And in the plural, we have Andriantes in the nominative, Andrianton in the genitive, Andreasin in the dative, Andriantas in the accusative, and Andriantes in the vocative. The endings here, as you can see, are the normal ones for masculine and feminine nouns in the third declension. And again, when we consider the dative plural form, we see that the ny tau ending of the stem disappears here. This ending disappears when the consonant tau meets the sigma in the dative plural ending sin. And at the same time, the concluding alpha in the stem is also lengthened. And this is called a compensatory lengthening. So this, you can see that the lengthened alpha is marked with the circumflex there. Okay, next topic then, which is adjectives with a ny tau stem. So here we have the example pas, pasa, pan, which means every or whole in the singular and all in the plural. So this is somewhat different meaning in the singular than in the plural for this adjective. This is an adjective of the three-ending type, which, as you may remember, means that it has separate forms in the masculine, the feminine, and the neuter. The masculine and the neuter forms follow the inflection of third declension nouns of the ny tau type, which we just looked at, while the feminine forms are inflected like the first declension feminine nouns with the short alpha ending that we had in lecture 3. But let's quickly go through these forms here. So if we begin with the singular, we have here in the masculine, pas in the nominative, pantos in the genitive, panti in the dative, and panta in the accusative. And then the vocative forms are, again, identical with the nominative forms here in all these forms. And then in the feminine, we have pasa, pases, pase, and pasan. And in the neuter, we have pan, pantos, panti, and pan. Then in the plural, we have in the nominative masculine, pantes, in the genitive, panton, in the dative, pasin, with the new F acousticon here, and then pantas in the accusative. And then if we move on to the feminine forms, we have here pasai, pason, pasais, and pasas. And then the neuter forms, panta, panton, pasin, and panta. Okay. Okay, but let's move on to the next topic then, which is an overview of the forms participles take in the present and future active and medium passive. Let's begin with the forms in the present active voice. And here our example verb is again paideuo. And the stem is, as we remember, paideu. And when we then get the present active participle forms by adding specific participle endings to this root. And in fact, these endings also have a stem ending in nytau in the masculine and the neuter, while the feminine endings are inflected according to the first declension. In the nominative masculine singular, the present active participle is paideuon, and in the nominative feminine singular, paideuusa, and in the nominative neuter singular, paideuon. And the corresponding genitive forms in turn are paideuontos, paideuuses, and paideontos. The literal translation of this participle paideuon would be educating. Now, you may wonder how come the participles are inflected according to gender and case, even though they are not nouns or adjectives, but verbs. However, participles are in fact inflected exactly like adjectives, and they also often connect to nouns like adjectives, in that they follow the same case, number, and gender as the nouns they correlate with, as we will see later. And participles are in fact often referred to as the adjectival forms of verbs. Okay, let's turn to the active future participles. And the basic principle here is that these are formed in the same way, that is with the same root and the same endings as the present participles, except that the sigma infix, which we learned about last time, is inserted between the stem and the end. So accordingly, the future active participle in the masculine nominative singular is paideuson. The feminine nominative singular is paideususa, and the neuter nominative singular paideuson. But of course, it's not always this simple. But we will not deal with irregular future forms in this lecture. So let's instead overview the full paradigm of the present active participle. So this is another paradigm that you are strongly recommended to try to memorize. And you can now begin by contemplating these forms and particularly the endings. So this, you can see that I have a different example verb here. So this is the present active participle of the verb ago, which means lead in the active present indicative. So here it's agon, leading. So one thing that may cause confusion here, and which often in fact does cause confusion when you read texts, is that the masculine and neuter dative plural forms are identical with the third person plural forms of the present active indicative. So this form here is this can be and this one as well. So this can be this. Formally, these are identical with the third person plural active present indicative form. So this could be also they lead formally. But if it's a participle, it would be the meaning would be leading, some form of leading. So only the context can determine what it actually is, if it's a participle or if it's an indicative form of a verb. This case. Okay, but yeah, that's a detail that's good to try to remember, but we can next look at the present medial passive participles. And luckily, these are normally relatively easy to recognize. They consist of the stem followed by a thematic vowel, omicron, and the endings menos in the masculine, mene in the feminine, and menon in the neuter. So accordingly, the masculine nominative singular is here paideuomenos in the feminine nominative, in the feminine nominative singular it's paideuomene, and the neuter nominative singular is paideuomenon. And these endings here are then inflected exactly in the same way as adjectives following the second declension in the masculine and neuter, and like adjectives following the first declension in feminine. While the future is again simply formed by placing the futural sigma infix between the stem and the ending. So here you can see the masculine nominative futural active participle form paideusomenos. Okay, but we can also quickly overview the full paradigm for the present medial passive participle to give you an idea of how they are inflected. So you can see that this men part here is the same. What is omen actually, if you count this this thematic vowel here, which falls between the ending and the stem. So this men part is the same in all of these forms. Then it's just this ending here, the last letter or the last two letters, which it changes depending on case and number and gender. So if you find this men part, that's a good way to recognize a medial passive participle form, present participle form. Or it could also be actually some other tense, but then the roots look different. But we come to the other participles in other tenses later. So that's a topic for later lectures. Okay, but there's not much more in today's lecture, except that in the next chapter in the textbook, which is chapter 8, we will encounter two different uses of participles. And these are the normal, so-called participium conjunctum, where the participle connects to a head word, like an adjective. That is by following the same gender, case, and number as the word it connects to. And on the other hand, we will encounter a use of the future participle as expressing purpose, which is called the final use of the future participle. but I added some commentaries to the vocabulary pertaining to these two uses of participles, which you may find useful when you translate the text. Okay, so that was all new content for today. A lot as usual, but you have time to go through it and contemplate it. You know, as always, it's not important that you learn exactly everything, but as much as you have time and energy to learn, it's good. Okay, any questions? Did you hear anything? Did I break up a lot?
Yes. No.
Okay,
It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions or comments here, or everything was as clear as glass, or if there was something that was not very clear, then maybe it wasn't that important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the participles are probably, like, I would say, one of the most challenging parts to get used to, but the verbal system in itself, the whole verbal system, but participles are definitely quite challenging. So they are extremely important, yes. Like the Greek text or the Greek writers and probably the speakers as well loved participles. So they use extreme amounts of participles in Greek texts. So they are very important. But it's just you know, a matter of trying to when you encounter them in text, it's just, you know, trying to get used to them. That's it. Of course, it helps if you have time to study some paradigms. That would be really helpful. So yeah, maybe the active. If you want to try to memorize one of these paradigms, we have both the active and the medial passive present participles. It will be good to try to memorize the active, because the medial passives, they are much more easier to recognize because of this men part which they have, and then you know, you can figure out the endings if you know, if you have familiar yourself with the second and first declension nouns, then you can figure out the participle. But the active participle can be good to try to memorize. Yeah, but let's look at the chapter we had for today. Here. Did you have time to read it at all?
Yes, I got through to just about all of it. There were a few sentences I battled with, but
oh, cool. Okay, but let's start looking at it and see where we end up. So yeah, if you want to start, Nigel, with maybe you can take the whole first paragraph if you have, or how is it with you, Tofi?
okay.
You have time to look at anything? Let me just ask the other ones first. Helen and Tofi, you can write in the chat. Did you have time to look at this chapter? Okay, good. Well, yeah, we can look now. So yeah, start with please, if you would like to, Nigel, start with the first.
Okay, so We shall teach the maidens well.
Exactly, yes.
Paidusamen tas kora. Then you will not do wrong to the stranger, but you will honor him.
Yes, exactly. So this was first person plural, and this was second person singular, both future active forms.
Yes.
And how would you analyze team
And then,
essence?
it's second person plural future.
Yeah, it's a second person singular.
Timeo. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course, second person singular. Yes, the same as adignesis.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what voice is it? Is it active or media passive?
Active, yeah.
Active, exactly.
It's
Yes.
active and active future.
Exactly, active future.
Yeah.
Good. How about this then?
The next one is I shall show the road to you, or I shall show you the road.
Yeah. Very good. And then?
Next one is the soldiers will win in the battle. They will conquer in the battle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, here we had this typical, which I mentioned, that when the verb root, which is here nikao, so the verb root ends in an alpha, right? It's lengthened before this futural sigma infix, which we have here. So that's why it becomes an eta instead of the short alpha, which it has in the present form, nikao. Yeah. Then, okay.
So then the next one is you will pyres, is you will try to fight bravely.
Yeah, exactly. Now, how would you analyze this this one here, this verb form, peiraseste?
It's a future middle, because I think it's only in the middle form, the future, isn't it? The parenthesis. It's a second. It's a second person plural future middle verb.
Exactly. Very good. Like perfect.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it from the ending, of course, as well, that it has this este.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, either middle or passive in it.
Either middle or passive.
Yeah. Then the next one is, well, it's the men will never, literally, it's the men will never cease from war. But I presume it's like mankind will never cease from war.
Yeah.
Never cease.
Yes, exactly.
Never stop. Yeah.
Exactly. Literally, as you said, the men or the humans will never cease from war. Exactly. So.
See. Yeah.
So the verb form is this pousonta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. So next one then.
And then the next one I found a bit cryptic. So it was some. I think it's you will. I got something like you will acquire the truth by accuracy, but I couldn't do that one too well. Akribea epainon
Did you say
Test.
truth or?
Test. Yeah. Yeah, truth. For that was
Yeah.
I must have got the wrong.
Yeah, but you had akribeia is accuracy, as you said. But this
Accuracy,
epainon,
yeah, accuracy, yeah.
epainon, what does it mean?
Yeah. I thought, yeah, hang on, I've got it here somewhere.
So it means praise, I think.
Oh, it's praise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Praise, yes.
So epainos would be the nominative form, right? If I remember correctly. Epainos, exactly, praise. So
yes.
it's a second declension noun in this case. Epainos, praise.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's here in the accusative, of course. Accusative singular, epainon. So the object here, that which you will.
So you will acquire. Yeah, so you will acquire praise by accuracy, or.
Yeah, exactly. So this akribeia is what case is it in?
Dative.
Dative, exactly. So this is like an instrumental.
Dative, yeah.
Instrumental use of the dative. So the means by which something is acquired is here. Exactly. So you can again, as usual, you can recognize a dative singular by this iota subscript here underneath the ending. Okay, good. Next, the longest sentence so far then.
Yeah. So I think the citizens will free the land and they will acquire glory by bravery.
Yeah, exactly. So these two forms here, eleutherese and theesestai, what kind of verb forms are they?
They are future infinitives.
Exactly, both of them. Yeah,
I think are they?
Yeah.
They're both future.
The voice, the voice here. What is it in this first one?
It's active.
Exactly. So this is the active infinitive ending. So it's the same in the future as in the present, but in this case it's a future infinitive because it has this futural sigma infix here. And the voice here then is
it's active voice, isn't it? Yeah.
No, actually here is middle passive, so it has this s time.
Oh, okay.
Ending.
Of course, of the. Oh yes, sorry, the second one. Yes, the second one is middle passive.
Yeah, exactly. So again, the ending is in the infinitive is the same in the present as it is in the future, also in the middle passive. But again, it's only this futural sigma infix which allows us to conclude that it's an futural form. Of course, this in the present this is ktaumai. So ktaumai, I acquire. But then it's lengthened again, this concluding letter in the stem. This alpha is lengthened to an eta because of this futural sigma infix, as usual when the stem ends in a vowel, in a short vowel, like in ktaumai. Kta is the stem. Okay, good. Perfect so far. So, okay, but maybe we can take the second one as well.
Okay.
I think we can.
Nobody else, no.
we can take it all the way to number 3, and then if you want to do the rest, have it evaluated. You can send me your translations of the rest. But I think this will be enough also because my internet connection keeps being unstable. I don't know why. But I think these three first will be enough to take them. So we get the idea of how the future works that way.
Yeah. So the next one is the vultures are strong.
Yeah. So this asin, is it what tense is it? Is it
Present.
exactly? So this was just a present verb thrown in here. Good.
Yeah. Present. Yeah. Then the next one. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, please.
Horses. Yeah. Horses are horses are necessary to the Arabs, but I presume they mean essential or.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So the horses is here the subject for hippoi. Yeah, and to the Arabs, as you said. So we have this. What case is this? First Arabs in.
Dative.
Dative. Exactly. So a plural dative. So this is a proper use of the dative here. So it's the recipients or the beneficiaries of whatever takes place in the sentence. Yeah, good. Nothing strange there.
Next one is, oh brother, we will write many letters to you.
Exactly, yes. So this grapsome, what tense is it now?
Future, active future, second person plural.
Yeah, or first person plural, actually. So we will.
I mean first person plural, so we yeah.
I also always confuse those first with the second person, but yeah, it's first person plural. Perfect. Okay, then.
Okay. Then the next one is the general will send his son into the camp of the enemy.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Just the next one then.
Yeah, this is, we shall not waste the day today.
Exactly. Yeah. Diatribo, a future form of diatribo. So again, first person plural. Good. Yeah. Hemeran is day and temeran is today. So day to day. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Yes.
Then.
And the third one is the peasant will cut down the high trees or the tall trees.
Exactly. Yeah. The peasant will cut down the tall trees. Yeah. Couldn't have said it better myself. And
then the next one is you will not conceal unjust deeds.
Exactly.
Hide.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So calypto is will be in the present, and then again, we had this. I went through this in the lecture. So if anyone remembers, like it depends on what kind of in calypto, which means I conceal or I hide. The stem ends in calypt, so it has this. it has a consonant there, and labial consonant. No, yeah, a labial consonant, and then when a labial consonant combines with the futural sigma infix, it becomes a psi. So that's why it's a psi there in this futural form instead of a normal sigma infix. But yeah, then the next one, if you like.
We shall not conceal the truth from our friends.
Yeah,
we won't hide the truth from our friends.
Exactly. Crypto
Yeah.
conceal. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the last one is I shall never stop the enemy. Or
Yeah. Blapto. Could also mean.
yeah.
Could also be a. Right. I don't have it here, but. Blapto could also be hurt, right? So it could also be.
Hurt. Oh, that's right. It's either hurt or stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'll never hurt the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be it as well. So these are all futural form, where in the futural form we got this C here at the end of the stem when the concluding consonant of the stem met the futural sigma infix. So yeah. Yeah, maybe we can take this first sentence also here in number 4 to get another type of verb form as well to end the lecture. We've only had the futural forms here and one present form.
Yeah. So the men were going down the ladder.
Exactly. Yeah. So what the ladder? Yeah, maybe. So what tense do we have here?
Ladder. Yeah, it's an imperfect.
An imperfect, exactly.
Imperfect active.
Exactly, active, which you can see here from the ending on.
Yeah.
And then we have again this augment here, which gives away that it's an imperfect form when we also have the present stem here. So the augment here again, usually it's the augment is before the verb, but here it's in the middle of the verb because it's this kind of compound verb where the first part is a prepositional prefix, kata, and last part is this actual verb part, baino, which means walk or march, or in this case, climb down, kata baino, climb down. Kata means down, the preposition. Yeah, so I don't think we have to continue further. So I mean, these were quite simple sentences, but just to get used to this future. I think
there's one that I was having a bit of yeah, I was having a bit of difficulty with the one about it's the fourth paragraph sentence 1, 2, 3. The fourth sentence, the dear Karukson hoist strategy. I'm battling to get that one.
Okay,
together.
So what would you suggest here?
Let's see. Yeah. So, because I mean, it's through heralds.
Yeah.
Is
through
via heralds.
Yeah.
The generals. Yeah, the generals.
Yeah, the generals.
But then ekelion, I can't work out what that is.
Yeah. So this is the predicate. So this is the finite finite verb, so this is the guiding verb, right? Ekeleo, this is what tense is it to begin with? What tense is it?
It looks like an imperfect.
It's an imperfect.
Yeah, imperfect tense.
So it has this augment.
But I just couldn't.
So keleo means keleo is the basic form, the present form. So it can means command or order or tell, any of these.
Of course,
order in this case.
That's right.
So
okay. So the generals were through heralds. The general were ordering the phalanxes to. They were ordering the phalanxes to fight with the enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
So they used heralds to tell them to fight. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes sense.
The meaning. Yeah. So yeah, I think we had it in some. If you were looking at in the vocabulary, it probably was missing from there because it had occurred in some earlier chapter. So I tried to only include the new vocabulary. So if you want to if you want to be quicker and not only rely on the vocabulary, probably a lexicon or something would be good to have on the side. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, you seem to have no problems here, so this was easy for you. So yeah, you didn't have any more sentences that you were thinking about or that you had problems with, or did you?
Yeah, the one about the gunaixi, I just got to there. I hadn't really gone through it, but it's the last sentence in the fourth thing.
So gunaixi kosmon he sige parexe. Yeah. So where is if you start with the subject and the predicate, where do we have them?
Well, to me, it looks like he sige is the subject.
Exactly. So he sige is the subject. And what he sige mean?
Yeah. I can't read my writing. Hang on.
He sige is silent. So silence, the silence, or
the silence. The
silence. Yeah. And parexe is what tense is it?
Future, active future.
Yeah.
And then it looks like it's third person singular, is it? Yeah.
Exactly. Third person singular, future, active, indicative of parejo. So what does parejo mean?
Is it to provide?
Yeah. To provide or give or something like this.
Yeah, it's provide. It's so. Yeah.
So silence provides. What does silence provide? Where's the object?
Cosmon.
Cosmon. Yeah, exactly. So it's cosmos.
Decorate. Yeah. Yeah. So I just couldn't make it. Silence provides decoration to.
Yeah.
To the woman.
Yeah, it could be that. Cosmon it has many meanings. So it's like cosmos could also be order or.
Okay. Yeah.
So. I mean, literally, it's as you said, silence provides decoration for the woman, or provides order for the woman. So the meaning is that, well, basically, the law or the order for women is to be silent. I mean, this is an old book, so it gives old moral norms in some places, and this is supposed to be, giving also an impression of what with some kind of ancient Greek thinking would be. So, but that's what it says, that women should be silent.
Yeah, which is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 So nothing else. You didn't look at this number 5 at all, or?
I hadn't got to it yet. No.
Okay. Okay.
I ran out of time, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have time for 4, that's pretty much already. But if anyone likes, or if you like to translate them or look at them, you can send to me your translations, and I can look at them. But I think you got the idea. I mean, yeah. So yeah, it's similar kind of simple sentences here as well. Tafron oryxomen kai tapsamentus necrus means we will dig a grave and bury the dead.
Or bury the body. The dead, yeah.
Bury the bodies, could it be? Tassa eu praxis, you do your things well. Yeah. Tassa eu praxis. Kede hoi kerkees alpit suusi, kerk suusi, gaarteen hymetera nike. Already the heralds blow their trumpets, and they because they herald your victory. Hoi polemioi uutarax suusi tus politas. The enemy do not, or they do not. What did tarax suusi now mean again? Sorry, I'll check. Tarasso. What was it? Taratto, disturb. Exactly. So we have it here. So the enemy does not disturb the citizens. Hotheoi hymas philoxosen. What would that be? Can you figure it out?
The gods, us, Fulax. So might fall down on my vocabulary all the time.
Axosen comes from philatto. So philatto means guard.
To guard. To guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the gods guard us, will guard us. The gods will protect us.
It's not us, it's you. Hymas is you. Hemas is
you.
us.
The gods will protect you.
Yeah, the gods will protect you. Exactly.
Okay. So the gods. Okay.
Hos nomos estin hemin is machen taxameta. As is our customer, as is our law, we will order ourselves for battle. So we will order ourselves for battle according to our customer law.
Okay.
And then we have this last grave inscription here. Theophila Seleuku Yne to Lao Haire.
So it's Theophila, wife of Seleucus. Haire was liked by the people.
Yeah, actually, it could be salutes the people. Haire is like say hello or
salutes.
So.
Okay. So
like it's a greeting by Theophila
to the
people, which is written on her grave. So she salutes or greets the people. So that's what it says. Theophila, the wife of Seleucus, greets the people. So it's like an infinitive form.
The people, yeah, makes sense.
Which is used a bit like a normal verb form here, like it's like a finite verb form, even though it's an infinitive form. But yeah, good work. So I apologize for my my slow internet, so it's something is wrong today. I have to figure it out for next time. But yeah, really good work with the translation.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming and bringing your good translations. So yeah, I'll send you new material and
Right. Well, thanks.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, thanks, and see you next week.
See you next
Thank
week.
you.
Thank you. Bye.